Bipolar is manic depression, and like with bipolar, individuals can feel like they have some special superpowers, or they feel like they're invincible, and they feel like they have godlike features. But it can get you very easily into a delusional state. Living and growing up with bipolar as a young adult has been very challenging, and it's made me understand a lot about myself, things that I wouldn't question myself about, and it makes me contemplate about where I spend my time and energy into as well. When I have my moments of low moods, I get very antisocial and I'm very reserved. However, when I'm manic, I feel it can get very narcissistical, which means I could become very vain and just stubborn and just feel like it's all about me, 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 and it's a big ego trip, if I'm being honest. And I'm a spiritual person, and there's a lot of spirituality in what like music as well. So I use that as a tool to help me kind of reflect within myself and understand myself. So I take my olanzapine, which is an antipsychotic, which just helps me. It's like kryptonite to Superman. Like, it just helps me keep myself grounded, and I'm just a bit more level-headed, and I feel mentally safe and well. I feel very sedated after I take my medication, and it makes me realise how much of a knock-on effect it has, and how my state of consciousness is with it as opposed to without it. And I'm just learning to accept it and just trying to adapt to it, so to speak. Since my diagnosis with bipolar, I've had 2 episodes, and the thing is, when I have my episodes, sometimes I'm not aware of I'm aware of my behaviour, but I don't realise how deluded and how out of hand it can get. So this is why I spend a lot of time in here, making sure this place is like my place of sanctuary, sorry, where I could just be free and just express myself freely and just let it flow. So that's but with the episodes, it's very difficult for my friends and family to kind of understand it, because it's just beyond my control as well when I have my episodes. So it's so important for me to have these. With the episodes, I feel like, well, from what I've read and from personal experiences, they feel like they're on a mission from God, or from they're on a mission just to like change the world, or just, and they feel like they have superpower, like you feel like you're invincible. And one thing I've learnt when I have my episodes is I make very irrational decisions and very bad choices, and I become very indecisive, and my mind's here, there and everywhere, and it's not just reserved and just in one spot and just focused on one thing. It's just focused here, focused there, and it ends up it ends up getting very messy, to be truthful. The first episode, I felt like, well, there's a lot of domestics in the household, and I think it just got the better of me, and I was going through the transition of adolescent to adulthood, and it just spiraled out of control, and it was a new experience to me. And from that, with the second episode, I've learned what the factors are for me, which kind of made me realise, I'm going to relapse, and it's exactly what I said with the first episode. I feel you get very vulnerable, and you just get so insecure and paranoid, and it wasn't to do with drugs or alcohol or cigarettes or any narcotics. It was just environmental factors. So, and I think it was just, like I said, just a big transition from adolescent to adulthood, just making that transition from one to another. During my second episode, I remember I just didn't want to be a burden upon anyone. Like, I didn't want to ring anyone or bother anyone saying, "Oh, I feel like this," or "This is what's happened." And I was grieving, and I think with this, dealing with grieving and mental health was just a completely new experience. And one thing I've learned, there's no manual to it as to how to deal with it or counteract it. So it's very challenging. It was a very dark road. It was a very long, dark journey. But luckily, I stayed with the light. And one thing a lot of people, patients have always said, is that it's so important to stay with the light. Like, whatever that may be, just hold on to it and trust it. And trust your gut feeling, because the majority of the time it works really well. Anyone's going through any mental health issues, is just don't be afraid to speak up, and you'll be surprised where you'll end up when you do speak up. So just remember to speak up.